Honourable Clayton Cosgrove.
And freedom of speech, great. Mr Speaker, that is the man, the Deputy Prime Minister of this country, who is propped up, and the only reason he has his job today, propped up by a rotten pile, by a Member of Parliament who is already a convicted criminal, already has a criminal conviction to his name, and now stands about to stand trial for election fraud. That one person, of course, is the Honourable John Archibald Brownbag Banks. That is it. Propped up by a rotten pile. The only reason that member, the sort of Basil Fawlty of the Parliament, with Fawlty Towers being his government, the man, of course, under his watch with SOEs, who bumbled around like Basil Fawlty, blaming everybody else, stumbling in the dark, aided and abetted by Manuel over there, the Minister of SOEs. I no complain. I see nothing, I know nothing. Who let Solid Energy go down the gurgler? About the only thing I think that Bill English, when it comes to the Bank of Tokyo, of course, he stands accused of mismanagement, of negligence. This is the man, of course, who said he would not let Solid Energy fail. Then weeks and months as the negotiations with the banks continued, he undermined his own chairman as he grins away, didn't even tell Mark Ford as he dropped a bundle on him and said, well, we may let it tip over. Great negotiating tactic. And then, of course, he announces, in his own slipshod way, bumbling around in the dark, that we have a deal. Like a sort of second-rate game show host. We have a deal. It's done. It's zipped up. Everybody's falling in line. And that was 10 days ago. And 96 hours after that, Basil, 96 hours after that, the Bank of Tokyo drops the ball on him and goes to court. Now, when I was in the private sector, a deal sort of went like this. You got round the table, and you got an agreement, and you got the ink dry on the document, and everybody agreed, and then you announced it to the world. But oh no, not Bill English, shot his mouth off, shot his bolt, and now is about to get shot by the Bank of Tokyo. And of course, this is the man, of course, who negotiated a fabulous deal with Rio Tinto. Totally negligent. The man who came to this house, and said the $30 million free gift was to secure Southland jobs. That's what he said over and over again. On Catherine Ryan's show with me, he must have said it 5 times. And then we find out that there is no guarantee of any of those jobs, even up till the 1st of January 2017, when the deal's on the rocks. And then we said, did the Minister bother in the heavy-duty negotiations, or Manuel over there, to actually ask for a guarantee? You know, if you don't ask, you don't get. That's the normal sort of modus operandi. He didn't have the gumption. He was negligent. He mismanaged it. And this is the guy, of course, who then, of course, went over the top of his board into the Meridian deal per se. $30 million free gift, and he sits there every day misleading the New Zealand people, saying that he secured the jobs. Not 4 days before that deal was done, before the ink was dry on the cheque, they were sacking maintenance workers at Rio Tinto. No guarantee, and didn't have the brains as he bumbles around in the dark to ask Rio Tinto, to beg Rio Tinto for $30 million or 30 million pieces of silver to actually secure those jobs. Mighty River Power, well, what a botch up. That guy over there and the Minister of SOEs will go down as the most useless, feeble and negligent ministers and shareholding ministers of SOEs. Mighty River Power, they over-egged the pudding. They were greedy. They wanted more money. 10% down on the price. Then we had free shares, of course, in respect of Meridian, and a set of steak knives thrown in. And all the time trying desperately to get these SOEs, get that sale off the ground. Not because they wanted to maximise the return to shareholders, and they're not the shareholders, the taxpayers are. They have to sell these SOEs simply because it's the Prime Minister's political vanity and political pride on the line. If he was still working for Merrill Lynch, the Prime Minister would tell his shareholders, do not sell. This is not the right time. No time is actually a right time to maximise shareholder returns. So now it comes down to it. Brown bad banks up on fraud charges, propping the government up. That's what it's down to. The rotten pile from Epsom propping the Deputy Prime Minister up. Well, I hope over there they're all very proud of themselves.
Honourable Maurice Williamson.
Incredibly prestigious